This week, I learned about mental health, how it affects people, and what to do about it. Look for signs, listen to them more, and link them with professionals.
Hey, welcome to our explainer. Today we're going to talk about something that's a part of every single one of us, mental health. You can think of it as this invisible thread that kind of weaves through our successes, our struggles, and, well, every moment in between. The World Health Organization puts it this way. It's not just about not being sick. It's about a state of well-being that lets us handle life's stresses, reach our potential, and be a part of our communities. It's really the foundation for everything we do. And when that foundation starts to crack, the whole world can feel like it's about to fall apart.
But here's the thing. That foundation is under some serious strain globally. Just look at this number for a second. 970 million. That's the estimated number of people worldwide who were living with a mental health disorder back in 2021. And let's be real, this is so much more than a statistic. It's a chorus of nearly 1 billion individual stories. Stories of struggle, resilience, and the quiet courage it takes just to get through the day.
And that's really the heart of it, right? These aren't just abstract numbers on a screen. We're talking about our neighbors, our colleagues, our friends, and our own family members. This is a shared human experience that touches all of us, whether it's directly or indirectly. And that's what makes this conversation one of the most important ones we can possibly have. So if we really want to support each other, we have to get past the stigma and move toward understanding. And you know what? That journey always starts with education. So let's take a look at some of the most common conditions that are affecting our global community. Because replacing fear with facts, well, that's the first and most powerful step we can take. Okay, so topping the list are anxiety disorders. They affect about 4% of everyone on the planet, creating this constant background hum of worry and unease. Right behind that is depression, which is actually the single leading cause of disability worldwide. It just robs people of their energy, their joy, their hope. Then you've got bipolar disorder with its intense mood swings. It's like being on a roller coaster you can't get off. We also see schizophrenia, which can involve a really frightening disconnect from reality, and substance use disorders, which so often are a desperate attempt to self-medicate the pain from all these other conditions. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. These conditions don't affect everyone in the same way. Research consistently shows that women are twice as likely as men to experience what are called internalizing disorders, like depression and anxiety. So what's up with this 2-to-1 ratio? Well, it's not just biology. It's this really complex mix of hormones, genetics, and all the unique societal pressures and expectations that are placed on women. It's a huge reminder that our mental health is shaped just as much by our environment as it is by our biology. And you know, speaking of those external pressures, we tend to lump them all under one word, stressed. We all say it, I'm so stressed out. But it is absolutely crucial to know the difference between the temporary pressure of, say, a crazy week at work and the persistent, crushing weight of a clinical condition. Getting this difference is the key to knowing when a weekend on the couch, binge watching a show, is enough, and when it might be time to reach out for more serious support. Okay, let's dive right into this because it's a question so many of us have asked ourselves, either for us or for someone we care about. That feeling of being totally and completely overwhelmed, is it just a rough patch? Or is it a sign of something deeper that really needs attention? Honestly, the line can feel incredibly blurry, and it is perfectly okay to be unsure. But there are some pretty clear signals that can help us figure it out. This chart here breaks it down perfectly. You see, situational stress is temporary. It's tied to a specific thing, like a big presentation coming up. A mental health disorder, on the other hand, is persistent. We're talking weeks, even months, and the intensity can feel totally overwhelming, like you're drowning in plain sight. And here's the biggest one. It starts to seriously get in the way of your ability to function at your job, at school, in your relationships. This is what professionals call the action threshold. It's that tipping point where the symptoms cross over from being manageable stress into something that really does require professional help. You know, spotting the signs early is absolutely crucial. It's the cornerstone of getting effective help. Mental health challenges hardly ever just appear overnight, fully formed. They whisper before they scream. They send out these early warning signals across our emotional, behavioral, and even our physical lives. Learning to recognize these signs is a skill that can change a life, and in some cases, it can even save one. Emotionally, you want to look for a persistent low mood or excessive worrying that just doesn't let up for more than a couple of weeks. Behaviorally, A huge sign is social withdrawal. Think about it. Someone who used to love going out with friends suddenly starts making excuses to stay home all the time. And then there are the physical and cognitive signs. Things like brain fog, where it feels impossible to concentrate, or major changes in sleep or appetite. Even unexplained aches and pains can be a signal that something deeper is wrong. All right, now we get to what I think is the most empowering part of all this. You do not need to be a clinical expert to offer meaningful, life-changing support. You don't. In fact, some of the most powerful help comes from the people who already know and love us. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can be a lifeline for someone in distress. And there's a simple, proven way to do it. And this is it, right here. It's a framework from the World Health Organization, and it's called Look, Listen, and Link. It's so simple you can actually remember it in a crisis. So first, you look, quickly assess the situation for any immediate danger. Then, you listen, approach the person with empathy and without any judgment. And finally, you link, help connect them to more help and resources. See? It's simple, it's memorable, and it is incredibly effective. Let's just zoom in on that listen step for a second, because it is arguably the most important one. Your goal is not to solve their problems. It's not to fix them or give a bunch of unsolicited advice. Your main job is just to provide a safe, non-judgmental space where they feel heard and they feel validated. Just the act of you bearing witness to their pain can be profoundly healing all by itself. So what does that actually sound like in a real conversation? Well, it's using simple but really powerful phrases that show you get it. Saying something like, "Wow, that sounds really tough," or "I'm so sorry you're going through this," shows you're listening without trying to fix anything. It creates that safe space for them to open up, if and only if they're ready. So let's get really clear on this. There are things that help, and then there are things that really, really hurt. Unhelpful communication often sounds like toxic positivity. Saying things like, "just cheer up," or "look on the bright side." These phrases, even if well-intentioned, can feel incredibly dismissive. Instead, try asking open-ended questions like, "What helps you when you feel this way?" This actually empowers the person by helping them tap into their own strengths and what works for them. Okay, so the third and final step in our toolkit is to link them to help. Being a supportive friend is absolutely vital, but it's not a substitute for professional care. Helping someone navigate the system, which can be really confusing to find that care, is one of the most practical and impactful things you can possibly do. I know it can feel daunting, but you don't have to be an expert to help someone take that first step. The whole system can seem like a maze, so here's a quick guide. Psychologists and counselors are your go-to experts for talk therapy. Psychiatrists are medical doctors, so they can diagnose conditions and prescribe medication if it's needed. Then you have digital resources, which offer really flexible, remote access to care. And you should never underestimate the power of support groups, which provide this amazing sense of community with people who just get it. And this is critical. If you or someone you know is in an immediate crisis, please do not hesitate to use these resources. In the United States, you can call or text 988. In the UK, call 999. And in the Philippines, you can contact the National Center for Mental Health Hotline. These services are free, they are confidential, and they are available 24/7 to provide immediate, life-saving support. So we'll end with this. After everything we've talked about, the signs, the frameworks, the resources, the question really becomes personal. Who in your life might need a lifeline? Being equipped with this knowledge, it's like having a superpower. It transforms us from just being bystanders into active, compassionate allies. And that is how, one conversation at a time, we build a world where no one has to struggle alone.
Now we know what to do. Let us care for each other so we can keep ourselves mentally healthy.